Today I am here in Edinburgh, Scotland. It is January. It is a beautiful blue sky, cold and windy winter day. And today I am taking you to a traditional Scottish car boot sale. In today's episode, I'm taking you on an adventure with me across Scotland. I'll take you to traditional car boot sales, which are similar to American flea markets, an amazing vintage pop-up event that is packed with secondhand treasures, and we'll even be making some stops at small town charity shops looking for amazing thrifted deals. I am excited to share my first experience in Scotland with you. And of course, you know I'm going to take you to see some of the amazing sights. It's going to be a whirlwind 5-day adventure across the Scottish Highlands, and I can't wait to show you at the end all of the treasures that I find. So settle in, get comfy, and let's go explore Scotland. This is incredible. Scotland is unbelievable. This has by far exceeded all of my expectations. We are kicking off this morning with a car boot sale. So for those of you who have never been to a car boot sale, the reason that they are called that is because in Scotland and the rest of the UK, the trunk of the car is called the boot. These car boot sales are very casual. So basically you roll up your vehicle, pop the trunk or the boot, and can sell directly out of your vehicle. Although a lot of the vendors will actually have a lot more items, so they will pull out tables or even put blankets down on the ground and just roll the items out there. I love these kinds of sales because this is where you can find incredible deals. These are not highly curated antique fairs. They are everyday people selling everyday stuff, and that means sometimes you might find hidden gems. One of my top tips for flea market shopping when you travel is to look for small items. Obviously, it's easier to get home. So I always make sure to take time to dig through the jewelry boxes. A lot of the stuff is going to be kind of junky. It's mostly going to be costume, but that makes it even more exciting when you do come across something that is designer or sterling silver and high quality. This vendor has a lot of great stuff at this table, so I'm actually putting everything into a pile, and then I will ask for the price at the very end. Usually the more you buy, the better the bundle price you get. So I'm going to go through these piles, pick out my favorites, and see if I can get a good deal.
When it first started, I feel that's resin, or a bone or something, because that's a bone. That's thingy, Scottish, that's ortag. That's nice, that wee ring.
That's pretty too.
That's hard. You'll see there's got the Edinburgh hallmark on it in the back. It should tell you in the back. Somewhere around it. It'll be on here somewhere.
First buy of the day. Woo, almost dropped it. And I got all of this for £60 total, including both of the Edinburgh signed jewelry items that I'm going to give to my friend that is here for her birthday, which is tomorrow. She loves modernist jewelry. It is January right now, and it is actually pretty darn cold out. So I am thinking that these markets are much larger and have a lot more vendors at them during the spring, summer, and fall months. But I'm still finding some good little gems hidden in here. So far, this market's really interesting because I'm seeing things from all around the world, not just things that are made here in Scotland. That's pretty typical at European flea markets. You really can find things from all over the world, especially in these bigger cities where it's more common for people to move from outside this area. I did a tour of the Edinburgh Castle yesterday, and then we also walked the Royal Mile, and we learned a lot of history about Robert Burns, a famous Scottish poet. This carved wooden plate is going to be perfect to add to my collection at home. Stay tuned till the end of the video and I will show you where it's going to go. They are only asking £1 for this. I'm hoping to pick up some unique local art on this trip. I always love to get things that represent the location that I'm at. If you're looking for kind of the touristy street art, I know a lot of people collect that during their travels. Going to a flea market like this is a really great place to find it. A lot of my favorite tourist art that I have found on my travels has been from the 1960s or 1970s. And then it's extra fun if you can look up that artist and learn a little bit about the history. It's so interesting to see what you find at these markets. This is a beautiful Japanese kokeshi doll. I have a beautiful collection of these dolls at home. This vendor has a lot of art. I'm going to dig through this pile and see if there's any original watercolors, oil paintings, or a really good needlepoint that I love. Now we are headed to a vintage pop-up event, and I just happened to be here on the weekend that this event is taking place. There are some great vintage pop-up events around the larger cities. This one is packed. There are so many people here, but I can see why. The vintage quality is very good. Some of the pricing is higher than the car boot sale I was just at, but at the same time, I'm seeing some really good prices on things too. Like these beautiful paintings, for example. They're £25, but that's actually a really great price for an original framed piece of art. This vendor has so much art. I could spend hours just going through every single one of these. This one's adorable. It's only £5 and it's a Scottish Highland cow. That would be a great souvenir if you wanted something to take home and you were looking for something secondhand or vintage. A lot of these are book plates and prints, but there's definitely some original watercolors and sketches in here. This one is artist signed and it is only £20. I think I'm going to get this one and the watercolors from the beginning. This platter is really beautiful. I love the design on it and the shape. And then over here, I believe that this is either a butter mold with a Scottish thistle or possibly for shortbread. One of the things I'm hoping to find on this trip is a Scottish wool blanket, and I'm loving the colors on this blue and green one. It's 30 inches by 40 inches. They're asking £20, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. It is 75% mohair and 25% wool, and it is handmade in Scotland. I think we're gonna get this one. So much for being camouflaged. I was trying to hide in the woods so that the deer would come right in front of me here. This is where they've been eating the grass this morning. But these adorable little birds are ratting on me. Look at them. They're like, intruder, intruder, intruder.
Look at, oh my goodness, and I've no camera on my... Oh wow, oh that's some gone now.
Wow.
station for stagecoaches
Oh, okay.
before 1770. And the landowner gave it to a bishop that came here in 1770.
You're a Mackenzie?
I'm a Mackenzie
And you've been here all your life?
all my life.
Where would the Gunn clan be in Scotland? Do you
Gunn.
know? Gunn. My husband has
G-U-N-N.
Scottish. G-U-N-N.
There's guns here.
Really?
There's guns
In
here.
this cemetery?
No, in Dura Cemetery, 7 mile down the road.
Okay,
We have to go.
Okay.
There's a book about him. He helped a lot of the army boys, you know, hid them and then got them on a boat out onto another boat and home.
This is why I travel, right there, that moment. 78-year-old Scotsman telling us stories from hundreds of years ago. Passed down generation to generation.
I have the chills and that because I'm cold.
That sweet gentleman just told us that my husband's family, the Gunn clan, is buried here in this little cemetery, and it happened to be only 5 minutes away from where we were. I can't believe it. I didn't even know if they were from this part of Scotland. So right now we are looking for some of the Gunn graves. This is incredible. Scotland is unbelievable. This has by far exceeded all of my expectations. In Scotland, thrift stores are typically called charity shops. So today I'm going to take you to a few of them as we travel through the Scottish Highlands. These are all in very small towns. Typically, these towns have just one main street. So if you're ever driving through a little town in Scotland, make sure to keep an eye out for signs that say charity shops, secondhand, and antiques. The majority of the items in these charity shops are clothing based, but this is a great place to come if you are looking for vintage Scottish wool or even current clothing. Most of them do have a couple shelves of home decor items, but for the most part, they're mostly clothing. Oxfam is one of my favorite charity shops. We've actually been to these in Oxford before, around London. I believe we've also been to some in Munich and Vienna. Keep an eye out for the Oxfam charity shops. I spotted this beautiful pewter brooch in the glass case. I'm definitely going to be getting this. And it's made in Scotland. In the town of Callender, there is a hospice secondhand store right here. And then there is also just down the street, another one of the cancer thrift stores, charity shops. This trip has been so spontaneous. We basically had no agenda, which makes traveling so much fun. We're just driving through towns in the Scottish Highlands, pulling over whenever we see a thrift store, a cemetery, or a castle. As much as I love trip planning, I highly recommend just winging it sometimes. That's when some of the most magical experiences happen. at all the fancy hats. You could get a Kentucky Derby hat here. We can check seeing Scottish deer off our list, but the one thing we still have not seen yet here in Scotland are shaggy cows, and that has to happen. So we made a few phone calls and we found a wonderful gentleman named John who was willing to give us a tour of his property.
He doesn't have a clue.
This is Murdoch and he's the daddy. He doesn't have a clue.
This is Angus.
Angus. Hi, Angus. So the little baby is kind of a reddish color right now. The mom and dad are both black, and eventually the little baby will lose its reddish color and turn black. We didn't know that Highland cows could be black, and they originally were. This is fascinating. Oh, look at all these shaggy babies. They don't even look real. They're so adorable. When we got here, we found out that they had 2 baby Highland cows that were born only 3 days ago.
Princess Virginia.
Princess Virginia.
Come on, PB.
Come on,
Come
PB.
and talk to us.
Oh,
So she's 3 days old.
3 days old.
Just coming up. Feel his horns, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so warm.
Full of blood.
Full of blood. The horns are
Huge
full of blood?
circulation.
Wait, so
No way.
horns are bone with keratin?
With keratin as a sheath.
I cannot. It's
So
almost
your deer,
hot.
The deer you saw were bone.
Hi, shaggy baby.
Yes. Yeah. There was
Well,
one
you
that.
saw one deer.
Yeah.
But they shed anyway. Look at them.
Those are the eyelashes?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
an insect.
You don't need extensions.
Yes. Yeah.
Then they have to half shut their eyes and that huge blood supply. And I think if there's blood, I think there's also nerves. I think they're very much aware of.
Touching and they can feel the
I
sensation.
think they know where it is anyway.
We thought that the tour couldn't get any better and that it was over, but John just told us that he has a surprise for us.
It's not invincible.
Obviously, you can see why I fell in love with Scotland. It was such an incredible trip. I was only in Scotland for 5 days, 3 of them sightseeing. So it felt like just this little tiny teaser of Scotland and what it has to offer. I am back home, and this footage was actually taken a year and a half ago, which is absolutely insane. I can't believe that it's been that long since I went to Scotland. But the good news is I'm going back here very soon, and a lot of you are coming with me. We just launched our Scotland group trip for 2026, and I cannot even express to you how excited I am to take a group of you there and explore a lot more of Scotland. That's a 9-day trip, so we're gonna get to see parts of Scotland that I haven't even been to, including Loch Ness and the Isle of Skye. I'm very excited to go explore those places, and of course, you know I'm gonna take you with us virtually. That group trip sold out in under 2 minutes, and we've got tons of people on the wait list. So you know what that means? It means that we are definitely going to get another Scotland group trip in the works for either 2027 or 2028. So if you weren't able to get on the 2026 group trip, don't worry, we're going to be doing that one again for sure. Now I want to show you a few of my absolute favorite things that I picked up on this trip. I got a few things off camera that you haven't seen yet. I love blue. It's my favorite color. We decorate with a lot of blue and green in our home, so I was so excited when I found this vintage Scottish wool blanket. And my favorite part about it is how fuzzy it is. I know you can't tell through the screen, but it is so soft. Sometimes wool can be very scratchy, but really good quality wool is actually going to be very soft to the touch, kind of like a sheep would be. I love this so much. I'm so happy that I found this. Scotland really touched me in a way that I wasn't actually expecting. I've always loved reading and writing since I was a child. I think it was part of how I tried to overcome my dyslexia. I got really into reading. It was a challenge for me, and I like challenging myself. So my entire life, I've always had a love of old books and stories. And I feel like Scotland is the birth of so many incredible stories. It was really neat to get to go to some of the Harry Potter sites, to see Tom Riddle's grave in the cemetery. It was just a very inspiring place. And I think this trip really re-sparked my love of reading and writing. We went into a few old bookstores, and this is my favorite item that I got from the bookstores. It is a 1907 tourist map guide of Scotland. I feel like this was extra fitting because it was actually for tourists, but back in 1907. I love old maps. Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh, I thought I just found like 100-something-year-old love note or something. It's actually the bookstore where I got it. So what I'm actually planning to do is frame some of these. A couple of the maps were loose, and one of them that was actually loose in here is one of the cities that we went to, and it was one of my favorite stops of the entire trip. So I'm actually going to take this map and get it framed, and you never know, maybe I will find a little love letter or a note written in here. This was not made in Scotland, but it was found in Scotland, and I collect these carved wooden plates. They're beautiful folk art. I have quite the collection going, so it's kind of fun to add something that I found on one of my travels to that collection. I picked up several sterling silver Scottish jewelry items, which I actually gifted to my friend who was on the trip. I went solo to the car boot sale, so it was the perfect gift to find while on the trip. And I did pick up one more Scottish brooch on this trip. It's pewter, and it's got a beautiful traditional design on it. And I found this one for just a few pounds at the thrift store. And You know I love lions and I love spoons. I use these types of spoons for my tea, for sugar, for honey, for dips. Whenever I have something special set out, I like to put out my little pretty spoons, and I love lions. This one is actually a souvenir spoon from Kruger National Park in South Africa. I've actually not been there. I did do a trip to South Africa and we went on a safari, but we unfortunately did not make it all the way to Kruger National Park. But this is going to be a reminder for me that someday I do hope to get there. And I love having things around my home that remind me of trips I've taken or that inspire me for trips that I want to do. It's silver plated and I got this at the car boot sale. I picked up several original watercolors and art pieces at that vintage market. That was such a neat vintage market. That's where I got my blanket too. And it was actually shocking how busy it was. That place was poppin'. So unfortunately, I already sold 2 of the beautiful watercolors, but I do have these 3 pieces left. And I'm thinking about actually adding this one into my gallery wall that I'm working on because it looks so similar to some of the landscapes that I saw while in Scotland. So I thought that this will just remind me of this special trip. I also really like this one. It's artist signed. It's got these beautiful columns. And then this one, I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and put in my next First Friday sale. It's titled The Mound, Edinburgh, and then it's artist signed. I think that says Dorothy Bruce. I thought that one was really pretty. Overall, I found some really great pieces of art and I was able to bring them all home with the original frames and glass in my luggage, no problem. Obviously, the biggest takeaway from this trip were the memories and the experience of being there in Scotland after dreaming about it my entire childhood. But I do have a favorite item that I thrifted, and I did not unfortunately find this one on camera while I was filming because I was talking with the lady about it. I actually turned around at a thrift store and saw this hanging, and I think I let out an audible gasp. This is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite clothing item I have ever thrifted or found secondhand. Not to be dramatic, but I am so excited to show you this one. The woman told me this was a 1920s Japanese silk robe, and I am obsessed with it. I've got to put it on and try it on for you because you really need to see it on to get the full effect of how incredible this robe is. This is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life and take the best care of. You've got to really be careful when you buy these old silk items because the materials can break down over time if they're not cared for. So this is going to be something that I pull out for very special occasions. But the best part about it is that it is actually in wearable condition. So I am beyond thrilled. It does not feel like if I move in it, it's going to rip. It's so funny to me that you never know what you're going to find when you travel, because if you had told me that my favorite thing I was going to find on my first trip to Scotland was a Japanese silk robe, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But I'm so glad that it was. So we were getting to the last day of our quick trip and we hadn't seen any Highland cows. Not a single Highland cow. We'd been looking every single road we went down. We drove all through the Highlands and we had not seen any Highland cows, probably because of the time of year. It was late January. I think that might have played a factor in it, but we were getting devastated thinking we were leaving Scotland without actually seeing Highland cows. We made a few calls and I've got to give a huge shout out to John. Not only did he give us the opportunity to see Highland cows, he did it with so much knowledge and enthusiasm and kindness, and we are so grateful for that experience. We got to see 3-day-old baby Highland cows, and they were probably the cutest things I've ever seen. But I gotta tell you, that special trip we took on that ATV out into the wild to see the Highland cows in their natural setting was actually magical. As I was taking this footage, I had tears streaming down my face, and I couldn't believe I was witnessing that. So we have so many exciting trips coming up. I hope you are subscribed to our newsletter if you're ever interested in joining us on a group trip, because that is where we have been announcing and rolling out all of our upcoming group trips. We've got a huge lineup for 2026. We might even sneak in some more trips. I don't know. If there is a destination that you would love to travel to with us, please comment below and let us know, because you never know, we might just get it in the works. But we've got some amazing things coming up soon, so you want to make sure you are subscribed to our newsletter at leftcoastrevivals.com/newsletter. Thank you so much for joining me virtually on this incredible and life-changing experience in Scotland. It's always such an honor to know that when I'm on these trips and I'm filming these clips, that I get to bring you along with me. So thank you so much for the years of support. We've got some exciting things coming to this channel and beyond here very soon. We're just like overflowing with excitement for the future, for the now. I think we're buzzing right now. Like everything's just super exciting right now. There's so much very, very cool content coming your way. And we've got some really, really exciting things up our sleeves that we have not announced yet. So definitely make sure you stick around. We're going to finish out this year with a bang. So make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you don't miss when these big and exciting announcements come out. I will see you all in a brand new adventure here very soon.